Let's talk about my adventures in New World. So I came back for the expansion. I haven't played since the Brimstone Sands update, and I didn't even know there were leaderboards because I'm just a solo player that had all their friends quit. So I don't have any aspirations or dreams of being a top-ranked player in anything, especially with all the companies and stuff. But somehow I made it to rank 1 jewel crafting all by myself. I've also made more money than I've ever dreamed of having in this game, so that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. If you enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below, and use code VERLISSIFY for 20% off your G Fuel order. That's how I did it. Non-stop caffeine, non-stop grinding. I built a jewelry empire all by myself, and I have G Fuel to thank for a lot of that. So if you need energy for work, school, gaming, or any other task, go and grab it. Code VERLISSIFY, 20% off. Let's talk about how we got here. So I made some videos talking about how Darkhide was worth a ton of money, and there's also a lot of lessons to take away for like the next expansion and stuff, to where like if you just rush the highest resource and you sell thousands at 8-9 gold when it's relatively easy to get before everything crashes on like day 2, you can get a lot of money. So I made a quick 50k just kind of finding the resources that were worth a lot. Same thing on bananas. I was late to bananas, but I still sold a few. At one point, you could sell hundreds for like 20 something each because people didn't realize like, oh, banana trees are just like in Cutlass Keys. So I spent over 100k to get my jewelry craft to 250, and it paid off somehow because PvP players are psychopaths. Also, it helps that PvP scales your gear to 675 gear score, so you can just kind of make something this, and then it's going to be way more valuable for PvP. I sold this ring for 20k. It's probably worth a lot more. I don't care because I'm a solo player with nothing to lose, and profit is profit to me. Also, my ignorance is going to be a lot of players' gains, so there has been a big learning experience. Like, I thought Hardy was complete trash and like a waste of a slot, so I was salvaging a lot of my early 625 legendary Hardy crafts, and then I sold a few for like 2k, and then they sold for 3k, and then they sold for 5k, and then I saw people in chat talking about like how Hardy is such a good like need for Abyss. So a lot of mistakes were made. I lost a good amount of money. Also, I wasted a lot of my early crafting on like Strength Void because, oh man, everyone's grinding for the Abyss. The first thing someone's gonna want is a Void damage leeching ring. Can make a few grand off of that. But since this is all for PvP, Fire Staff is the meta, and I learned that by getting mauled by triple Fire Staff users in Arena, and also Outpost Rush just being a non-stop barrage of people melting me with the Fire Staff. So intelligence, fire damage, and then maybe I get burning, maybe I get Hardy, and it turns into over 5k rings that sell really quickly. So I just kind of roll for fire damage, burning, Hardy, maybe Sacred for like Life Staff, Fire Staff, if that's a thing. I don't know. I'm too ignorant. But either way, like, these things are selling over 5k pretty regularly, and then some that aren't as great I'll just kind of throw down, where it's like, well, it's Hardy, thrust damage, intelligence for a musket or something at 625. That's probably worth 4k, and then they'll sell for 4k. So I don't know, but I'm still making insane profit, and I've cornered the market, which is kind of neat. And now I'm the rank 1 jewel crafter, so I'm beating out all these other companies and guilds and factions and stuff where they're trying to funnel into their crafters. I just don't care. Also, I made a lot of mistakes getting here. I forgot Melon Bread is plus 15. So I was actually spending money on Asmodium settings to kind of catch up to get me to like 620, 625. I was also crafting when we didn't have the faction point captured. The Morningdale Bastion for the +5 crafting bonus. I thought I didn't really need it, or it didn't really matter if I wasn't going for 700 crafting or something. But no, you can just get 625 for free without having to spend anything. So that's what I would do. You would just go this, like silver. Like, I think that was like a big thing. Maybe people got scared because of the price and how much it would potentially cost to craft rings and stuff. Also, getting to 650 being very expensive. But you can actually just go silver, silver, mithril. The timeless shards are getting really expensive. I didn't think I was going to do any crafting, so I didn't stock up on those. Also, there's a bug to where you can only use timeless amulet shards for all of the mithril craft. So the timeless amulet shards have just been like super high demand for the other crafters on the server. So I don't know what's going to happen to the prices after that gets fixed. But yeah, you do this, and then you get the 15 bonus from the bread, the 5 from the faction point, and that's a 625, and then you can determine a perk, and that's where I'd go like leeching, void damage. All of this stuff is starting to get expensive as well. The thrust damage is like 50 each. The fire damage, the corrupted cloth, that's also really expensive because that's the fire damage ring I've been making. And then I go for intelligence or whatever, and it flips really well. Mithril is 100 each, so that's 400 gold. The battle metals are like a couple gold. And then the timeless amulet shards, I've been averaging around 500 each for these. Sometimes it goes high as 800. I have a buy order for 300, so it kind of averages out. And that means you can do a craft for under 1k gold that just gives you fire damage, high chance of leeching or hardy or something else, and then they sell for thousands. If you max out aptitude, you can get like 16 prismatic ingots, and those sell for like 1200 each. So however much money it takes to get the aptitude, you can actually get at least half of that money back just in prismatic ingots. And then I got some blessed rivets, sold those for like 9k each. Effigies, those are going for a few thousand. Also have buy orders for everything. I'm actually a crafter now. I never thought that would happen. Everything's just going really crazy. And then there's the first craft bonuses. So I just kind of went through and made like one of each on a first craft bonus. And even then you can just craft the regular mithril stuff, just kind of roll a random attribute or random perk or something, and still sell it for 999 or like 1k, 2k like I have been. And then these only cost 400 each to make, and they're getting you aptitude. So I just kind of stumbled into this loop where I'm making a lot of money, and then I'm also kind of pandering to the PvP players, undercutting all the prices to where they're actually selling because they just look too good. Since I'm ignorant, I don't know how much anything is worth in this game, and now I've profited to where I'm at 232k cash, and I have, I don't even know how much this is, like 100 orders of rings. But, you know, we're always at max server capacity. Mirima's the biggest North American server. So I don't know what that is. 10,000 daily players. And some of these rings where it's like, yeah, 1,500 for void damage if you want that. We also have leeching void damage. So if you're just looking for that for 1,500, even if you're a player that doesn't have a lot of money, you open up like a breach pile of coins. There's also the hidden stashes, and then you can get a ring that's going to work really well for the Abyss for a while, for pretty much like a day's worth of just logging in and then getting a little bit of cash. And then, like I said, I started learning the value of PvP rings. So 2,500 for hardy leeching strength. That's good, right? That's probably the value. I've had a couple of those sell. And then when I get into the more Abyss stuff, where it's like, oh, we get leeching, thrust damage, dexterity, hardy, yeah, those can go for around 10k, and I've been like slowly creeping the prices. I had someone buy one of my things. It was a ring like this where it was fire damage, leeching, hardy, and again, I guess fire stuff matters a thing. So someone bought this for 10k and then relisted it for 19k. So I just crafted 2 more and posted them for 12k, and 1 sold. I don't care about losing money. It's all profit. None of these could sell, and I still came out like 100k profit in the end, which again is more money than I could have ever imagined. And I started with around 100k, went bankrupt, got to 250, sold all the aptitude, started like just pawning off some stuff super cheap for like 1,200 each, and now we're just kind of stacked. So instead of getting all my jewelry crafting rug pulled, I'm the one rug pulling the entire server, which is shown by me being rank 1, and I could have made more money off of player ignorance because it's so easy to craft. I was just accidentally getting hardy, and I was accidentally getting all these PvP perks by just trying to farm up to get my jewelry crafting to 250 and get some aptitude, or get Abyss for myself. Because maybe, again, players don't understand, like, you can just craft 625s all day on just silver, mithril, and timeless shards, and it's not hard to get the rolls. So even if you invest like 50k, you could probably get 5 things that people are trying to sell for 100k. And I went, well, it cost me 50k to get 5 of these, and then the rest I can use for aptitude or salvaging, so 10k each. Eventually the player base is going to catch on that jewelry is very, very cheap to make, and it's very easy to get like all the good perks that you want just off of RNG because you get so many chances at rolling it. And I guess I'm the one that decided to crash it in that way. And the funny thing is, I probably wasted 100k as I was like profiting and selling off all of the prismatic ingots, just inefficiently getting to jewel crafting 250 because I was making these artisan rings, which are just more expensive than making a flat mithril thing with like the lowest stuff and not even caring about the gear score because I'm trying to level. Now the funny thing is I got into jewelry crafting out of necessity because getting good jewelry for myself has been very difficult since the gear score drops are not as prevalent as other gear. So everyone's doing like armoring, or they're farming portals, or they're doing mutations, and it just seems like jewelry drops a lot less and it has a lower chance of actually being anything good. So I got into jewel crafting on that, and then I learned, oh, it's cheaper and easier than anything else, and there's still a super high demand for it. Whereas like weapon and armor, since Amazon wants everything to, like, everyone to get their bis easier, they want it to be cheaper, the drops are like super prevalent, super free on just whatever you're doing, even getting like 690 plus gear score. I decided to kind of like create my own thing for the jewelry crafting and made some profit. And then I realized a lot of the profitability is from player ignorance, not realizing how good it is. So they see something like spicy that was like previous 200k bis for 10k on the market, and they just impulse buy it because of PvP, and then it ends up working out. Now I will say I do have something of value over here, because now that I'm set up at 250 and I have the system down and I know how to craft 700s, I did, which is something I never thought. I never thought I'd make like a 600 pre-expansion or a max gear score craft of any kind as a solo player. Now it's like super accessible, super easy, so I can use my daily cooldown for the prismatic shard. Is that what it's called? Chromatic seal. So yeah, I get one of these a day, and then I get a 700 jewel craft to sell. And that's where I'm gonna get greedy. That's where the profit is. So if anyone in Marima wants this, a 700 gear score, 38 strength ring with leeching void damage for your Abyss Great Axe. Some people's jewelry is outrageously priced. What about for this? 175k? PM me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.